It's okay to be a human. It's okay to be imperfect. And I don't want you to have anxiety about it. I want you to know that it's okay. Get out, get some exercise, get your app looking better, get your network more connected, and it'll work out.
Most pilots don't understand what career opportunities are available in the world of aviation. They're making career decisions based on advice from friends or posts on internet forums, meaning they are taking huge risks with their livelihood without having all the details. This podcast was created to help you understand the aviation industry so you can find your dream job. Let's get ready for Pushback. Here's your host and my dad, Nick Fialka.
What's up, pilot? It's Nick. How's it going? Thanks for swinging by. What a cool opportunity it is to talk to you. So today is a rainy day. I live in Northern California. It started a couple hours ago, but my family and I, we got out. We got some really great hiking in and saw some great views of the Pacific Ocean and all this awesomeness. But now it's raining. It's a Saturday. The kids are in the other room. We gave them some hot chocolate and they're watching some show and just chilling out before dinner. And I wanted to come and record a solo episode. So if you can hear raindrops on the roof, much apologies. If you hear one of my 5 kids screaming like, yeah, you get what you pay for. I don't pretend to be the most perfectly recorded podcast, but we'll go through it. Today, we're talking about your nervous energy. I was talking to Tron Williams on the phone a few minutes ago, and we got on this conversation about the fact that we both get these phone calls quite often of people that are looking to transition. Oftentimes, it's military people looking to get out of the military, or it's somebody that's been a professional pilot for a long time. Maybe they're a contract pilot. They're flying like a Citation X or something like that for a super high net worth individual. And they got lots and lots of experience and lots of hours, but they want to go to the airlines. And so we get these calls and it happens all the time. Like, listen, I put in my app 2 weeks ago and nobody's calling me. I've got all this great experience, but nobody's calling me. What's wrong with me? Like, do they not want me? Like, what did I do wrong? Oh man. Listen, I failed a check ride in 2005 and I'm never going to get this job. And it's the human element of what we are, that insecurity, that we're not good enough, that there's something wrong with us. And I want you to know it's okay. It's cool. Man, take a breath. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Man, that I actually just feel better doing that. I want you to do it. Take a deep breath. Breathe it in. Hold it. Breathe it out. Let that stress go. There's so much stress. Like, gosh, I'm not getting a call. I'm losing all this great seniority. My buddies, they put in their apps. They got calls right away. What's wrong with me? I had a guy that was a Blue Angel call me and talk about that. And he was like, I've done all these things, but I'm not getting this call. And why is Delta not calling me? Why is American not calling me? And that's okay. Chill out. Take a breath. It's okay. It's okay. The other calls that we get is like, who should I apply for? I don't know anything about the airline industry. What do I need to do? Where am I going to live? I have to go to a regional. How am I going to provide for my family? All these things. And I was like, you know what? One step at a time. Just know that you are good enough and know that all of these things will be sorted out. For the first part about your application being in and nobody's calling you, there's a computer first that gonculates your application. And from that gonculation decides whether or not it goes to a person's daily email. You open up their email and it shows the list of qualified candidates. And maybe your name didn't get highlighted yet. Maybe it did. Maybe it got missed. Who knows? But you know, it's an opportunity for you to go and reach out and network and get in front of the people that are going to be able to help you make a difference. If you can go to a convention, then go. If you can make it to a meet the chiefs at your company, right? If you can go do that, then go do that. Sit down, meet those chiefs. If you do, you better be ready. You better be ready to put on a show, to put on and show who you are and why they should hire you, because you get one shot. So be ready, okay? A lot of people I speak with like, oh, I'm going to go to a meet the chiefs. For instance, one of my best friends called me up and his best friend had a Meet the Chiefs set up with United. And they were already a client of ours, but they hadn't done anything. And the meet and greet was 3 days away, and this person had not done anything. And my buddy had set up this meet and greet, like a one-on-one, in-person, like set up by my friend, and this chief pilot was doing him a favor. And his buddy didn't do any prep and got there and said something to the effect of, tell me about a time you had a conflict, or tell me about a time you failed. And they just winged it and talked about stupid stuff that didn't matter, that were totally useless. Like, oh man, I knew this one person we could never fly with, so I just put them on my no-fly list, and that was it. And guess what? That person walked out of a one-on-one Meet the Chiefs without getting on to the next step. Because usually what happens with that is you get to meet the Chiefs, you shake their hand, they get to know you a little bit, you impress them, and they send you the Hogan. And that's like the first step to head towards Denver for an interview. It's very sad. And that person may or may not get another chance, probably won't. And so that totally sucks. So know that you are going to need to be ready when you get there. If you are putting yourself out there and doing the networking, you should take a look at your application. Take a look and see what kind of gaps there are. If you haven't had it reviewed, you always hear me say, go ahead and get your application reviewed. Certainly choose Spitfire because it's the best, obviously. But do know that you can take a look there and see how well-rounded you are. Like, have somebody else look at it. Say, where can I grow? What can make me better? How's your volunteering looking? Are you working with your local community? Are you making yourself better? Are you part of a group that helps in the industry or helps something that you're passionate for? Dive into that a little bit more, especially if you're moving down the industry. If you're volunteering and moving forward on helping advance the aviation industry, there's a great chance you're going to meet somebody from your target airline and they're going to make it happen. Are you growing your letters of recommendation? Like, are you reaching out to your network on LinkedIn and Facebook and the TikToks and the Instagrams and all those things? Do it. Make yourself more well-rounded. If you can get extra education, fly an extra jet, fly more hours, update your app more often, like all these little things, do all the little things to create one big thing. All right. Lots and lots of toothpicks stacked on top of each other. That makes an entire thing. That is a terrible analogy, but you get what I'm trying to say. Do a lot of little things to make one big thing. As far as the other stuff and worrying about the future, who should I target? Where should I live? Like, how am I going to get there? How am I going to feed my family? I'll do other episodes about that. I'll do one about budgeting. I'll tell you how I did it. And I'll tell you how my wife and I made it through with 5 kids at a regional airline for 4 years. Like, it totally sucked. It was the worst, but we made it. And here we are, and we're better because of it. And we're a better unit, and we're a better family, and it's a beautiful thing. As far as like who you should apply for, cast a wide net, get out there, go look around. Are you tied to the Dallas-Fort Worth area? Are you tied to LA? Are you tied to New York? Are you tied to Orlando? Where are you tied? If you're tied there, who's around? Who can you get to in a reasonable amount of time to fly for them? That's definitely a person I would apply to. If it doesn't matter, then go anywhere, go everywhere, get out there, get all the apps out, and then get to know the people and the airlines and understand their culture. And that will help you neck it down, because there's a good chance that's like Pokemon, man. Just collect them all. If you get a call from United, you're probably going to get a call from American. You get a call from American, you're probably going to get a call from Delta. You get a call from Delta, Spirit and Frontier want to talk to you. FedEx likely, once their hiring windows are open and stuff, they'll probably want to talk to you. UPS, like all of it. It just happens. Alaska, don't forget about them. New TA, new contract, like they're rocking and rolling. So all this nervous energy, right? Let's bring it back around. It's okay to be a human. It's okay to be imperfect. And I don't want you to have anxiety about it. I want you to know that it's okay. Get out, get some exercise, get your app looking better, get your network more connected. And it'll work out. If it's not, hit me up. We'll talk. Podcast at spitfireelite.com. Like, we'll chat. I'll help you figure it out. I'm happy to help. It's happening and it will continue to happen. So keep your head up. And while you're doing it, keep listening to the show. I will catch you in a few days for the next interview show. You guys are awesome. And I hope tonight is extra awesome for you guys. We'll see you. Hey, before you jump out of here and go on to the next podcast, can I ask a big favor? Would you mind going over to your app that you're listening to this podcast on and give me a review? Give me a 5-star review if you love it. Give me a 1-star review if it totally sucks. Put a comment in there, something that is helpful. It helps me. It helps get the word out there. It helps people find the podcast, and that's super cool. If you don't do that, maybe you could just share the podcast with a friend. Tell a buddy who's trying to figure it out, trying to sort out this pilot dream of theirs and get a little bit further. That is super awesome as well. Last, if you don't do either of those two things, how about this? Find a way today to make yourself 1% better. Do that thing that you've been putting off. Put your foot forward, make movement, get yourself going, get that inertia that you need to succeed in this industry. So that's your choice. Leave a review, tell a friend, or make yourself better. Either way, it's all a good choice. And I'm super stoked you're listening, and I will see you on the next episode. The statements made on this show are my own opinions and do not reflect, nor are they under any direction from my employer.